It's new bike day. I'm on the way to Hereford from a sunny Bournemouth, hopefully a sunny Hereford, to pick up one of those bikes that I have longed after for a long time now. When I was 15, 16, I had a poster of the YZF-R1 on my bedroom wall. Obviously the 98 first edition, red and white. So been after one of these for a while. Every time I've seen one I thought was a good one, it's sold, and I've kicked myself, wished I'd bought it. So I had a bit of an intense Googling session the other night and managed to find a listing for one from over a year ago, and it's shown still available. It was very, very punchy on the price. I thought, do you know what, I'll give it a go. So less than 9,000 miles from new, been with the same owner for 20 something years. I think year 2000, I think the current guy got it. So he's had it, cherished it, barely used it, probably like I won't. So yeah, we've agreed a deal and I'm on the way to go and get it. So I'm in the Defender, I've rented a trailer. Never a massive fan of trailering bikes, but I've got a tow bar, I've got the time, the sun's out, so why not? So yeah, looking forward to this one. It's one I've wanted for a very long time, so hopefully it lives up to the expectation of what has been described to me. I will check back in soon. Right, time to get loaded up, get this on the trailer, back on the motorway, back down to Bournemouth, and we'll get it washed. Here she is, ready to roll off the trailer. Get it back, give her a good clean up. Not bad, but it's been sat a while. Needs a set of tyres. The previous owner's given me the very original number plate that the bike came with, which is a really nice touch. But how old school is that one? So cool. He's got the original screen somewhere as well, but he's in the process of moving house. So at the moment, there's this red one, which is not too offensive, cool double bubble. But he's going to dig out the original screen for me. It's also got Micron exhaust, which is quite cool. I'll probably stick with the OEM for now. But yeah, short of a set of tyres and a service, she's pretty good to go. So my go-to for a quick wash, bit of that stuff. Seems to do a pretty good job. Obviously, absolutely rinse through it, but it's good at shifting a lot of grime, and it's not doesn't seem to be particularly offensive to any finishes. It doesn't seem like acid based like a wheel clean or anything like that, or a TVR. I presume it's some sort of natural-ish. Don't think you're gonna get cancer from it, which is always nice. Always a bonus for the day. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a full dose of this. There's quite a few old bits of dirt areas, so I'll probably just get some degreaser spray on that once this has done its first run. Chain needs a bit of a clean and an oil. Ah, good, it's got bobbins on, just spotted that, so I've got a stand that'll fit that. So yeah, I'll go and grab that, get her on the paddock stand. But yeah, so far so good. It's looking nice and clean. So I've let the muck off sit for a little bit. I've got quite a stiff brush, got to be careful not to get on the paintwork, but it's pulled out a lot of the crud that's been sitting in here. You can see already. It's a nice little result from there. So yeah, I'm going to keep digging on that. Go in the soft brush. Just giving it. I'm by no means an expert on this stuff. It's purely from having done cars and bikes of my own over the years. But yeah, softly. So I'm going to keep working on that, and then I'll be back in a mo. Give the muck off a good brush round. I'm going to let that sit and just loosen any of the last remaining bits of muck and residue. Give it a rinse and see where we're looking from there. Let's get it swilled. Not going to use a pressure washer. Generally don't like doing that on bikes. I know a lot of people agree with that you can blow the grease out of the bearings, that sort of thing. So this isn't that dirty. It just needs a quite light swill with the hose. So just keep it on a light setting. I'll go through this. I'll probably speed the rest of this video up because it's going to be quite boring watching me wash the whole bike. But I'll keep it all in here, but I'll just speed it up. So I'll be back in a minute. Cool. Let's give it a soaping. Just using Auto Gleam normal car shampoo on this. Nothing crazy, nothing special, nothing too harsh. And a microfiber, I don't know what you call these things. Like a shower louver, I think. Won't let the wife see it. Yeah, just going over it. Not too crazy. I say it's not that dirty. Just I like using a spongy thing like this because it can get into all these kind of nooks and crevices that a normal sponge might not. So yeah, I'll give this a running over, and then we'll get back to another swill. We'll take them off. Not something I'm a fan of. I'll get a heat gun on that at some point and get some acetone and get the sticky stuff off. I don't think it's needed. So far, I've not seen any chips, marks, scratches. For a bike that was made in 1998, it's pretty good going. Been well looked after, so just under 9,000 miles on this. Incredible, really. A little bit of that might even come off, to be fair. That might just be a splatter. Everything's pretty immaculate. So quite happy with this. Go on the other side and yeah, give it a swill. The seat could do with a bit of love. That's the I've got some vinyl treatment. I'm pretty sure I have. See if it'll clean up a bit. I've got the original number plate from the dealership as well, but I'll probably put a private plate on. So that's a chip there. Well, that's the first one I found. Found that one there. I'll take that. So you might know, it's that factory. The previous owner seemed to think it was a factory fake carbon. It's really not real. I think it's one of these hydrodip type things. I don't know if hydrodip was a thing back then, but it is cool. If it's not, I'll probably try and find originals, because it'd be nice to get this as original as possible, but not going to get much better than this. The previous owner said he's going to try and dig out the screen, so if he doesn't, I'll have a look for one, but it's not the end of the world. It would be nice. Cool, so we'll give that a swill off. I'll get a sponge and go around the wheels and give it a dry. So this is adhesive where this has come off. So I need to make a call on whether I take that off completely. Not sure if it's going to bleach the paint underneath. So tricky one. If I'm lucky, I'll find a replica or another one. But yeah, it's obviously over the years where it's heated and it's basically moved around. So I could probably clean the glow off the edges. Quite nice to take it off. Need to decide, because it's going to need a polish if I do that, a proper one, and I don't have a mop. So yeah, that's one for another time. I like to get to work at that lot at some point. It's quite mucky in there. Probably take the fairings off, get it on a stand, give it a good spray with some degreaser and get a toothbrush in there. But it's not too bad considering. Right, let that drip for a sec. I'll go and get a cloth, give that a dry, and I'll probably get a leaf blower as well and see if we can get some of the standing water off it. I can't resist giving this bit a go. So literally just, and you can see already it's starting to clean up. Stiff brush. Years of it. Don't think we'll get it perfect. Just from this. Pretty good. What was that? I think that was a Halford special. I think it's 2 for 1. So yeah, it seems pretty effective. Can use this stuff on the chain. Give that a good clean. It's looking a bit tired, that. I'm sure it'll be salvageable. So yeah, I'll carry on. We are nearly there. Chain's clean, lubed. Best I can really do it for the current situation. Plastics are looking fresh. Gonna get a little bit of auto sole on that and try and brighten that up. Maybe the pegs, but I don't want to open a can of worms, so it's getting quite late now. But yeah, pretty happy with my purchase. Gonna get out on this tomorrow or maybe the day after, so I'll probably bolt all this together into one video, let you guys get some on board of what it's like to ride. I had an 08 one of these when I was early 20s. I had a cross plane 2015 plate, red and white obviously, a year or so back, which did a few track days on. Had that mapped up, a couple hundred brake. That was good fun. This has been the one that I've always wanted, hence my issue with wanting red bikes. So yeah, last bit I'm going to do is I'm not going to bother polishing it tonight because it's just too cold and I can't be bothered. Gonna see I've got some vinyl rubber care and see if I can sort this out, because I didn't notice this until I cleaned it. Bit of an odd one, not sure what it is. Obviously the vinyl's probably just dry and tired, so I'll see what I can do with that. Worst case, I'll get it retrimmed because the seat's fine and I'm sure we can get a colour match on that. But yeah, so far so good. So worked out what it is. Years of arse cheeks. I assume that's studs on belts, that sort of thing, on jeans. Shame I didn't notice that before, but keeps it real. I'm sure I can get that sorted out and treated or coloured, something. But yeah, if that's the worst of it, I'll take it. So yeah, one very cool 1998 R1. Last piece of the puzzle. I don't know if you can tell. There we go, that shows it up. I don't know if it's water spots or if it's just tired over time, but a bit of water, so I'll give it a whirl and I'll see what happens. Well, that's a good sign. Boom. Better. Not perfect. But we're not here for perfect. We're here for honest. Because anything too perfect, I always raise questions. Lovely. I think that'll do us for now. One more thing, we'll give it a start. It's got pretty old, in fact I won't, it's got pretty old fuel in it. So there's only a tiny amount left. So I'll fill it up tomorrow or whatever day it is. I'm going to this bike night. I'll get some fresh stuff in there. Give it a blast, get it run through. Yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Because I can't rest, know that there's dirt on here. I've just put a little bit of acetone on it just to see if it really was dirt or glue. And I think it's a combination of both. So I've just got a plastic window packer because I figured it's probably the safest thing to do. And I'm just rubbing across, let me show you there. So I'm just getting the packer in the gap and just lifting this. Get a bit of focus on there. So I think it's a combination of, over time, this tank pad may have just moved when it's got hot. And then where it's been washed or not washed, I think the gunk is just kind of sat in there. So I'm just gonna get a bit of acetone on a bit of blue roll and just see if that cleans off. All right, let's have a little look and see if it bugs it completely. Oh, hello. Surprisingly hard to hold the camera and do these things. Well, that is not bad at a first attempt. I can't decide if I should pull this whole thing off and whether it's going to leave, look at the crap coming out of it, leave a blemish on the tank where it's been, because I'd rather have a slightly crappy tank pad than a blemish on the tank. So that's why I'm trying to do this. But yeah, look at the difference. If you go from there, I don't know if I can zoom on this, go from there to there, ew. It's like fingernails after being doing the gardening. I'll carry on. I should really grab a tripod, but I've lent it all to my mate. So stuck with the iPhone at the moment, but I'll carry on. And yeah, I'll see how we get on. Yeah, I'm not happy with it. I'm gonna try and take this off with a heat gun because I probably run more risk of scratching the actual tank just trying to pick it out than I do of just trying to get it off and cleaning it, and hopefully only just a light polish to sort it out. So gonna go easy with this thing because it's quite pokey, and I'll see how I get on. Excuse the dog barking. So it came off really easily, barely any heat. It's more of a vinyl. It was like a heavy vinyl as opposed to the 3D dome tank pads you get nowadays. So the heat gun just really softened it up really quickly. You can see it had like an adhesive layer as opposed to a glue, so it came off in 2 bits. So all I'm doing now is blue roll soaked in acetone, just gently rubbing it on, just letting that work the glue basically. As you can see, it's coming off pretty well. There's a very, very slight yellowing, just see there, which is kind of expected, but whole top row's come off here. Again, really faint, so I think just a bit of a light polish. I'll get that back up. In reality, this looks like a pretty standard pattern, standard template of a tank pad. So I'll do a bit of research and see if I can find another one that's similar size. Go again. Probably silly not to have one on there, but yeah, I think this is worthwhile. So I'm just literally just wetting it down with acetone at the moment and just letting that eat the glue. As you can see, it's coming off quite nicely. So it just gets to the point where this peels now. Quite satisfying. Very sticky. I don't think this has been on that long, to be fair. Certainly not as old as the bike, but I dare say a while. Yeah, it's coming off all right. I'll keep going, I'll do an update. So I think that's a worthwhile exercise. My hands are freezing, so I don't know if you've ever used acetone before, but it's absolutely ice cold when using it. It's really bizarre. So yeah, only slight yellowing. So I've got a bit of T-cut, sorry, not T-cut, also clean polish, quite a light thing. So I'm gonna give that a whirl. I'm just gonna pop the seat off and get the last bit of crud out that's dropped under there and give that a little polish, see if that works. I'm not optimistic, to be honest, because I'd say that's probably a bit of light bleach over time, but I think it looks better like that. I mean, if you stand back, you can't tell at all. It's only because I'm looking closely and I'm under like crazy LEDs. Excuse this lot, we're building an extension. So my man cave has become a store unit. So yeah, I'll get that cleaned up, give it a little bit of a polish, and I might have a look on eBay or somewhere and see if I can find another tank pad that's gonna look a bit cooler. And there we have it. Did a quick going over the super resin polish, did the whole tank. Still see a slight colouring, so used a bit of Autosol. So I know it's a metal polish, but it's slightly more abrasive. It's not that harsh though. So yeah, it's done a pretty good job. It's very hard to tell. I'm happy with that. That was a good decision. It's rare I make good decisions. So yeah, happy. I'm gonna try and find a tank pad that's not grotesque, which might be fun.